All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. We're doing another walleye video today. It's like the second week of July and the water temps are getting warm. It's 74, 76 degrees right away in the morning. And some lakes are getting even higher than that. So these fish are moving off and they're all moving, they're kind of getting scattered everywhere. So today I'm gonna be targeting various humps. This lake it's got like 5, 6, 7 different humps, kind of just all packed together. So I'm just gonna be using side imaging, trolling around the outside edge of those humps, marking, deeper weeds and cabbage and rocks and kind of whatever I think these fish are gonna be on, then circling back through and casting and trying to dial it in. So stay tuned. I think we're gonna have a great video. We're gonna be using kind of my typical jigging a crawler, jigging a leech, slip bobber and a leech. I got some plastics tied up and even some puppet minnows to see if they're gonna be a little bit more reactive today. So I think we're gonna have a good video. There it is. That is looking like the right kind. Definitely not a monster by any means, but it is the right species. Oh, get in the net, come on. There we go. A little pan fryer to start the morning. Nothing to brag about. Might be even a hair small to throw in the frying pan, but it's a start. Just a jig and a leech, just kind of throwing some baits around, seeing what's gonna work today, and we struck gold. There's one. Oh yeah. This might be a little bit better, I think. Thing just throttled it. Just throttled the jig and a crawler. That's a nice looking fish there. A good looking walleye. All we're doing today is I'm just hopping from hump to hump. And these fish are just kind of loaded up on the outside edge of these humps. Kind of just feeding. They got a lot of food on these humps. They're moving out to their summer homes. And they are very active right now. A nice 18-inch walleye, choked the tungsten jig. Just gone. We're gonna get this guy unhooked and send him back. Here we go. A nice Minnesota walleye. Fish on. Oh, this might be a hair bigger than the last one. But we're just kind of trolling around these humps, pitching from the deep side on top and just working it back on kind of the deeper edge of these weeds. And these fish are just loaded up in here. Yeah, probably a little bigger than the last one, but not by much. There he is. That Northland jig right in its top of its mouth. I'm not left-handed, so I cannot get it out like that. There we go. But yeah, humps. Right in July, humps can be your best friend. In this lake, I got like 4 or 5 of them just kind of right in a row. So I've just been going around using side imaging, looking for these humps. So I've just been using my side imaging, trolling around the outside edge of it, looking for weed pockets, deeper weeds, cabbage weeds are great, rocks or whatever it is that I think that these fish are gonna be holding on to each different hump, because each hump is different. They're not the same. So you just kind of scan around and look for those, circle back through it, kind of start pitching where you think those fish are gonna be. I got forward-facing sonar, so I can kind of using that to kind of dial in the hump, but it's definitely doable without it. All right, guys, I want to take a second just to break down what rod I'm using. This is a 7-foot medium light Mr. Walleye rod by Norseman Outdoors with a Fluger President reel. And on the business end, I got a Northland tackle, short shank tungsten in olive with a half a crawler. This rod is great for not only fishing with light tackle, but you can also fish bigger tackle too, 1/8 all the way up to 3/8 I've used on this rod, and it works flawlessly. It's a perfect little jig rod for just about anything you can use it for. I've thrown drop shots, Ned rigs, obviously 1/8 ounce jigs. I've trolled cranks with it. It's a great overall rod, very affordable. You're not going to break the bank, and it's super, super sensitive with a great backbone. So it is a perfect jig rod to go out and catch a bunch of walleyes on. Jigging cadence is important too when you're working these crawlers. I like to do a twitch like I'm doing here, and then a slow reel. Oh, I got a fish. There we go. Just kind of twitching it kind of fast, and then doing a slow reel to keep that bait kind of staying in place. I like the twitch because it kind of kicks that tail of that crawler and kind of gives it a little bit more action than just doing a straight reel. That's another little eater here. And it kind of seems to help trigger these fish to bite a little bit more. Just something, just a little, like you don't gotta do very, it's not like throwing like a pitching puppet or a puppet minnow where you're really ripping it, but just doing those little twitches and a slow reel to keep that bait staying in place when you're jigging has kind of been the ticket today. And it's been working. We've been catching quite a few fish. Given the circumstances, this has turned out to be a really great day. It's probably the 12th walleye today. I've been out here since 6:30. It's now 9:45. So, I mean, we're having a really great day. I'm gonna throw this guy back and just doing the little twitches. That's been the ticket. There he is. All right. That's a nice little walleye there. Man, the bite's been tough today. We definitely don't have the best conditions, flat, calm, and well, it was sunny, but now it's behind a cloud. But a jig and a crawler just floating, 1/8 ounce jig. I'm fishing in anywhere from 22 to 26 feet on these humps. And these fish are they're actually surprisingly biting pretty good for the conditions. No true giants yet, really good quality fish. But that's the reality of fishing. You're not always gonna come out and hammer a bunch of really nice big 20+ inchers all the time. There we go. That fish was just swimming along with me. Didn't even really bite it. I just felt a slight pressure change on that end of the rod. Fish was just swimming with it. Today I went in today thinking that it was going to be a pretty big slip bobber bite, just with there being no wind, and it was sunny for most of the morning. But jig and a crawler kind of seems to be the king right now. And that's fine, because I would much rather throw jigs than watch a slip bobber. Call me crazy, but I think jig fishing is way more fun. An 18.5 thing just sucked on it. That's all they're doing. They're not really biting it super great. There we go. Another good walleye. Eating the jig and a crawler. Just working it super slow. Just twitching it. And these fish they're eating it, but we're definitely having to work for them. And that is the downside of fishing in July. There's one. Oh, terrible hook set, but we got it. Just a terrible hook set. We're gonna hope it stays on. Another little cookie cutter fish here. Cookie cutter walleye. Not in the net. Get in the net, come on. In the net, there we go. Terrible hook set, but we managed to get it in the net. A little 15-incher there. Nothing wrong with these at all. As a fishing guide, I like these. These are meat in the freezer for my clients. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it here. There's a little bit of some information on how I target walleyes in early July. No giant ones today, a bunch of really nice quality eaters, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of guys, they like going out and catching fish for dinner. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the inconsistent uploads. Life's gotten crazy between guiding and a bunch of other stuff. I haven't been able to record as much as I wanted, but that's gonna change. I'm gonna hit this month super hard. I'm gonna be doing a bunch more walleye videos, probably some pan fishing videos, I think, and maybe a couple whitefish videos if you guys want. So let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.